Hey friends, today we're doing total body yoga. All that you need for today's class is a yoga mat and optional blocks. Grab your items, meet you at the top of the mat. Let's get moving. We're going to start at the top of your mat. Feet are right underneath your hips here. And I want you to spread your toes, get a nice good grip into the mat, pull the belly in, and lengthen the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Let's just start with some shoulder rolls. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze them around to the back and then release them down away from the body. Let's take that again, all the way up. Squeeze them back and release them down. Now let's take a couple more of those and add an intentional deep breath, inhaling through the nose as you bring those shoulders up. Exhale as you release them down. One more time. Inhale, shoulders rolling up. Exhale out. Nice job. Take your head over to one side. Roll it down to the center. And other side. Bring it back to the center. First side. And lift it up. We're going to jump right into total body. Give me a big deep inhale through the nose. Inhaling those arms up and over, opening up through the spine, lifting up through the crown of the head. And then exhale those arms out and down. Let's do that again. Deep inhale, squatting down, press through the heels, inhaling up. Open the chest. Beautiful. Exhale, forward fold. Allow your body to dangle here. It's okay if you bend your knees. You can grab those elbows. Let your head dangle. Nice job. Release those arms down to the mat. What I want you to do is step your right foot back into a warrior one lunge. Let those hips sink down a little bit. This doesn't have to start off deep. Inhaling up. Exhale right into the center of both legs. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears while you lengthen the arms up. Nice job. Take a big arm circle with those arms going around to the back. Open up through the chest. Place those hands back down on each side of that foot. Let's step the left foot back. We're in a full plank. The hands are under the shoulders and your fingers are spread nice and tight. Press through those arms. Pull the belly in. Nice. We're going to bend the elbows into the rib cage, slowly lowering the body down. Let your feet tuck underneath. Place those elbows under the shoulders. Forearms on the ground, palms down. Press through those arms, lift up through the spine. Roll the shoulders down and back and open that chest. Nice job. Go ahead and release that back down. Hands under the shoulders, elbows squeezing in beside your body. Tuck your toes under. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press up to plank. Bellies are in. Let's go back into your downward dog. Go ahead and walk those heels down, bending the knees. And you're just lengthening out down the back of the calves into the Achilles tendon. Let's press both heels downward, lift the hips up and back.
Lengthen through the spine, pressing through those arms. And your gaze is at the space on the mat that's just below the navel. To rotate this into a plank. This time we're going to step your right foot in between your hands. Allow your hips to sink down a little bit deeper. And inhale up. Exhale down into Warrior One. The weight's even between both feet. You're softening the shoulders down away from the ears. Lengthening through those arms. Allowing the hips and shoulders to stay square to the top of your mat. Take those arms, circle them around to the back. Place them down onto the mat. Step your foot back into plank. Pressing strong through your arms, pull the bellies in. And we're going to slowly bend the elbows, lowering the body to the mat. Release those toes. Place your elbows again under the shoulders, palms down. Pressing through those arms, lengthen up through the spine, up through the crown of the head. Roll your shoulders back, pulling them down as you're lifting up through the head, through the spine. Continue with that breathing. And release that back into the mat. We're going to take those hands under the shoulders, pin your elbows again back beside your body, tuck your toes underneath, take a deep breath in, exhale up into plank. Downward dog. Pressing through the arms, push the body up and away from the mat, lifting the hips up and back. Find the lengthening through the spine, through the arms. And you can walk those heels out if that feels good to you. Or you can just gently ease the heels towards the mat. It's okay if they aren't touching. Think about taking the weight of your body out of your wrist and placing it into the outer edges of your palm and into your finger pads, like a little suction cup. Nice job. Let's gently walk your feet back up to your hands. Soften those knees. Let your head dangle. And then we're going to lower the hips down as you bend your knees, allowing that chest to come up. Bringing those arms up beside your ears. Deep breath in. And exhale down and back, going into a chair posture. I want you to find the weight into your heels. Begin tucking those hips under just a little bit more and drawing the navel inward. Sinking heavy down and back into that tailbone as you lengthen through the spine. We're drawing the shoulders down and we're lengthening those arms upward. Inhale, pressing through the heels. Bring the body all the way up. And exhale those arms out and down. Nice job. Let's take that through again. And this time we're going to add to this. Give me a big inhale up. Opening the chest. Arms going wide. Soft knees. Exhale, forward fold all the way over. And allow the hips to press upward here. It's okay if the knees are still bent. You're just starting to lengthen up through the back of those thighs. Let's go ahead and take your right leg behind you, stepping back into warrior one. Lower those hips down. And right here, I want you to just find the space in those hips. Let them open up, let gravity sink your hips downward. You find the stretching, you find the strengthening taking place as you're holding these legs out. Now keeping these hips lower this time, inhale up. Exhale, allow the body to really sit down into that lunge. And now press your weight into that back heel. Lengthen through the back leg, and you really find the legs opening up here. So you have both stretching and strengthening happening all at once. We're going to inhale, lift the arms upward, shoulders staying down. Begin taking a little gentle backward bend here, opening the chest up to the sky. Circle those arms around and back. Bring the body back over. Nice job. And step that foot forward, or step your foot backward rather. Hands under the shoulders, fingers are spread, pushing through those arms. From here, let's bring the elbows into the body, lowering down to the mat. Tuck those feet underneath. And this time, we're going to keep the hands right under the shoulders. Keep those elbows pinned in and press the chest upward, only going as far as you feel comfortable. So while you're in this position, whether you're all the way up or just part of the way up, I want you to notice what's happening in those shoulders. If you feel like they're scrunching up to the ears here, pull the shoulders down and lengthen up through the crown of the head as you use your arms to push the body upward. Use your breath to help the body relax so that you can really enjoy the stretch and the strengthening. Beautiful job. Let's bring those elbows back into the rib cage. Slowly lower the body down to the mat. Tucking your toes back under. Elbows are in. Deep breath in. Exhale, press up to plank. And back into that downward dog. Continue pushing through your arms, lifting the hips up and back. Breathing through the stretch. Beautiful job. Go ahead and release it back to plank. And now we're going to take your left foot forward. No, your right foot forward. Sorry. So step your right foot between both arms. And just like we did a while ago, we're going to let ourselves sit down here in this position for a moment. Allow gravity to just work itself down into those hips. Let those muscles soften, opening up for the stretch. From here, staying low in the hips, inhale the body up, exhale down, softening the shoulders down, lengthening up through the crown of the head. And here, let's take that back leg, stretch it back into the heel. Let your hips sink a little deeper. And we're still keeping your hips and shoulders square to the top of your mat. Inhaling, opening that chest up to the ceiling, gentle backward bend here. Take those arms around and down, opening through the chest, and place them back on each side of that foot. From here, I want you to step your left foot forward. Bend the knees and lower the hips. Inhaling those arms up beside the ears. Sit down and back into chair. Find the weight of the body in the heels. From here, we're going to take the pelvis, tuck it under just a little bit, and really pull your abdominal area inward. As you sit down and back into that tailbone, lift the chest up slightly. Shoulders are pulling away from the ears as the spine and top of the head lengthen up and away from the body. And press through your heels. Bring the body all the way up. And exhale down. We're going to go into a little balance move here. Feel free to have a chair or be close to a wall for this one. What I'm going to do is take one foot, lift that knee up, and then I'm going to cross the leg over the top of the other thigh, allowing that knee to fold outward. Bend your standing leg, sit down into that hip, and so you find the stretch in this outer hip here. You can bring the hands to the chest. You can bring them up overhead. You can be out to the side. And again, you can be touching a wall or a chair just to give you a little bit of security there, a little confidence with that balance. And if you are using a chair or a wall, just let it be a light touch. Let your body find the strengthening that takes place here through the ankle as you work that stretch into your outer hip and outer glute. Now what we're going to do from here is we're going to continue working on this balance. Stand the body up, bring that knee up to the chest. Flex the foot, press that leg out. Really engage your core here, pulling it in, squeezing your bum, lifting up all through that spine. And again, arms can be overhead. You can bring them in a prayer position at the chest. Take them out to the side. And you can use a wall or a chair for a light balance. Bending that knee, we're going to take it behind you. Press through the heel and watch what happens with this hip of the extended leg. You don't want to open it to the side here. Keep it folded down to the ground. Let's take our standing leg. Bend your knee down a little bit more. Hinge over at the hip so that your spine is in a long line with that back leg. If you're using a chair or wall, keep those arms out to the side. You can also bring them back into that prayer position, or you can extend them out ahead of you. Inhale the body up. Exhale down. Nice job. All right, we're going to take that same thing on the other leg. All right, so go ahead and shake those legs out. Find your focus. Actually, I tell you what, I will turn to this side for you. Feet are hip width apart. Pull the belly in. Let's just start with a cleansing breath. Exhale out. From here, let's take that left leg now, the other leg, bring it up in front of you. Let's cross it over the top of the thigh and fold that knee out to the side here. We're going to take your standing leg, bend the knee, start to push the hips down and out, and you're finding that stretch through the outer hip here, outer glute. So remember, you have options for arms. It's finding what works for you. You can take those arms up beside the ears, pulling the shoulders down as you stretch those arms far away. Those hands can come in, hands to heart at the chest in a prayer position. Or if it gives you a little confidence to have a hand on a wall or a chair, reach those arms out to the side. Remember to keep it a light touch so that you are the one holding the body up. This is helping a great deal with your ligaments and muscles through that ankle, allowing the body to get comfortable holding yourself up. Take a deep breath, inhaling through the nose. Exhale, sit down and back into that hip a bit more. And as you do that, you notice the stretch going a little bit deeper through this outer glute area. Beautiful job. From here, let's bring that knee up. Pull your belly in. Flex that foot and begin stretching that leg out in front of you. Arms can go up at the chest, or as always can have a hand on a wall or a chair. Really pull your belly in. Think about squeezing through your bum and lifting the body up and out of those hips. Now let's bend that knee, press it behind you, keeping that foot flexed. And we're going to hinge over at the hips. Take your standing leg, bend that knee, let your body sink down. So our spine is in a nice long line with the back of that leg, meaning your leg's not low with you bent in this position. You're going to keep a long line. Stretch back through your heel. As you do that, you feel the glute activate to squeeze and hold. Bring those hands wherever you want to place them, at the heart, overhead, or at the chair. Pull your belly in. Exhale and lengthen out the crown of your head as you stretch back through the heel. Beautiful job. Go ahead and bring that up. Shake those legs out. And let's take a cleansing breath overhead. Big inhale up. Exhale out. Nice job. All right, we're gonna go moving on, adding to what we've worked on so far. So coming back to the top of your mat, those feet are right under the hips, toes are spread. Give me a big inhale up overhead. Backward bend, squeeze your bum. Inhaling up, flat back, soft knees, forward fold all the way over. And let's take your right leg behind you. Ease those hips down. Going a little bit deeper this time. Staying really low in those hips. Inhale the body up. Exhale, staying low. And now we're going to let the weight shift into that front heel. I want you to press up about 2 or 3 inches and then control it on the way down. Take it up. Control it down. We're going to do 2 more like that. Take it up. Control it down. 1 more. Take it up. Pull it down. And take those hands down. Step that foot all the way back, and we're going to switch legs here. So you've got a nice wide space between your feet. Easing your hips down really low here, finding that deep stretch, and we're going to use these muscles in our legs to stay in this low position. Keeping the hips down, inhale the body up, and exhale. Now we're going to press all the weight into your front heel, lifting the body up a few inches, controlling it as it goes back down. Again, press through the front heel, lifting it up, controlling it on the way down. Let's take 2 more. Press through the heel, lift it up. Exhale on the way down. 1 more time, press it up. Exhale on the way down. Beautiful. Take those hands down, step it back into plank. Core is pulling in. I want you to press through those arms, lift the hips up and back. We're finding that downward dog position. Take your right leg, lift it up for a 3-legged dog. Pushing through your arms, lift the hips up and back. Work to lower the back heel down towards the mat, and then draw that top leg up higher. From here, bring that knee all the way in. Squeeze it up towards the elbow. Press through the arms, and then let's try and draw that knee up towards the armpit. From here, place your right hand in the center of the chest. We're going to pivot to the side, keeping that bottom leg up. You can keep it bent. You can extend it out into a kick. And if it's really a little difficult, then you can always lower that knee down and just lift up through the hip. So there's always options, always places that you can find to work that meets you where you are. Let's bring it back to the center. Press it back into your down dog. And three-legged dog. Now we're on the other leg. Let's rotate this into a plank. Bring your knee into the elbow. And press through those arms in and allow that knee to come up a little higher, closer to the armpit as you squeeze your core in. Take your left hand to the center of the chest. Pivot the body, side plank. And remember, you have the option. You can take that bottom knee, lower it down, drive that hip all the way up. If you feel good there, work to hold that knee in, or you can extend that leg out. Bring it in. Let's rotate it back over. Lower those knees. Toes together, knees open. You've earned a child's pose. Sit the hips back. Walk those fingers forward and we'll rest the forehead on the mat and just catch your breath for a moment. All right, break is over. Bring it back into a tabletop. So we're going to just place those hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll take a couple of cat and cow postures here. Inhaling, head and hip coming up, arching down into that spine. And exhale, tucking the head and hips under and rounding the back up. Let's take one more. And release it center. All right, tuck those toes back underneath. Lift the hips up into a downward dog. And we're going to step your left foot forward. From here, we're going to open up into Warrior Two. So take your back leg, pivot it open at the hip, fan those arms up. Now in this position, your front knee is to the top of the mat. You've got your hips and shoulders squared to the long side of your mat here. Relax the shoulders down and draw and lengthen those arms away from the body. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, closing that rib cage together, engaging your core. And I want you to think about squeezing through your glutes and drawing those pelvic floor muscles upward. As you do that, you feel your lower abdominal area engage. A little tricky to hit, so just keep thinking through it as you work on it. We're going to take our gaze down your left arm. Deep breath, inhaling through the nose. As you exhale, sit deeper. We're going to take that front arm, flip the hand up so the palm is to the ceiling. Staying low in those hips, gently release and lift up through the torso, opening your chest towards the sky. Soften through the shoulders. And inhale up. We'll place that elbow to the knee, hinging the body over into a side angle. This top arm is making a nice long line all the way with the spine and into that back leg. Ease your hips down a little deeper. Let's rotate the torso more so that we're stacking the shoulders one over the other rather than letting that top shoulder roll forward here. Really open that up. Now you can stay right here. This is where those blocks come in handy. You can use tall side of the block, short side of the block. And we're going to place that hand, bringing it just inside the foot. So now our arms are going to be stacked, one right above the other. Take this right chest wall, press it up, and ease your hips down. Gazing upward and breathing through it. Beautiful job. From there, we're going to press through that front foot. Inhale up. And now what I want you to do is take both of your feet and turn them to the front. All right? Drawing those knees up, pull the belly in, squeezing through your bum, and drawing that pelvic floor up. You've got your core engaged. We're going to push the hips backwards slowly. As you do that, really focus on the muscles you feel through those hips, thighs, abdominals, and we'll stop this halfway. Think about squeezing through those thighs, the inner thighs, drawing them together. Belly is in, back is nice and long. Let's take those arms. You've got the palms facing the floor, but we're going to lift those arms up a little bit higher than shoulder height and squeeze the shoulder blades together here. And you're pressing the head away from the body here. So you're really lengthening out through the spine. Beautiful job. Go ahead and take your left hand down to the floor, right in the center. Rotate the body open to the opposite side. And so we're stacking those shoulders again, long spine, and press the arms away from your body. It feels really good when you find them lengthening out and away. Think about opening your torso to the side wall. Beautiful. Release it. And let's take that to the other side. Lengthen through the arms, extending out through the spine, and opening the chest to the side wall. Nice job. Release that. From here, we're going to bend your knees, let those hips lower down, and just round the spine, rolling the body up. And let your head come back up on top of your shoulders here. We'll take the other leg now. Let's pivot that leg open at the hip. So now your knee and toes are facing the back of your mat here. Hinging that down into that warrior two lunge. It's bending that front knee here. Taking those arms out. And I want you to think about keeping that knee in line with the second toe, so that knee's not falling forward. You're gonna really press it open, using that inner thigh and using that outer thigh and outer glute area to help open that leg up. Next, let's think about your hips and shoulders. Square them to the long side of your mat. Deep breath in. Exhale deeper. And then you can gaze down that front arm. Now we're going to take that front hand, flip it up so the palm is to the ceiling, staying low in those hips. Inhale, lifting the body up and over, opening up that torso, and then rotating your chest to the ceiling. Inhale the body up. And now let's place that elbow on the knee. Take the top arm up and overhead. And we're creating that long line from this arm all the way down the spine through the back leg. Rotate the chest open. And let those hips sink into that lunge. From here, let's take that top arm up, and you can take this bottom arm to the floor, or remember, you've got the tall side or shorter side of that block. Bring it inside the leg, and let's stack those arms one above the other. Ease your hips down, and you really want to watch what's happening in this top shoulder. We don't want it folded over. We want to keep it opened up. Press through your front heel, inhale the body up. Let's extend that front leg, and from here, turn those toes forward again. Now let's go ahead and walk those feet in a good bit more. From here, what I want you to do, I want you to open those legs up. They're a little more than hip width apart, all right? We're going to open those legs up at the hips so the toes are just kind of angled towards the corners of that front wall. I want you to gently, you can keep the hands on the thighs and knees for balance if that feels better. And we're going to ease the hips down here. Well, once you get down here, just kind of rock it side to side. Open those hips up. Find what feels good for you. And your yoga practice is about where you are. It's not about where I am, where anybody else is. And every day is going to be different from a different day. So you really just tune into what feels good in your body that day. Where's the place that's that happy spot where you're working, you're strengthening, you're stretching, but you're enjoying it. All right, find that center position. I'm going to take my elbows and place them against the inner thigh. Bringing my hands right up here, prayer position to the heart. And it's really easy to stay kind of hunched over. What we want to work towards is letting those hips fall right beneath us. Pressing those thighs open with the elbows and then lifting up nice and tall through the spine, all right? So just work on finding that comfortable spot, and it's okay if you're not there. The journey is much more important than the destination when it comes to practicing these different positions and finding what feels good to you and where you're working. So just enjoy the process of it. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing, inhaling, letting that exhale work for you. Your exhale is totally your friend here. Beautiful job. All right, release those hands down. Gently turn those toes forward, lift the hips up. And now I do want you to walk your feet a little wider. And we're gonna just hinge over to one side. You can slide that block in. So your toes are to the front now. Just rest those elbows either on the block or the floor, or it feels more comfortable, you can place the hands on the floor. And we're just opening up that inner thigh. From here, bring that toe up on the extended leg. Sit those hips downward, lengthen up through the spine, and then let's lift it up and over to the other side. Finding what feels best for you where you are. And then let's lift those toes up on the extended leg. Sitting those hips down, lengthen the spine. Just enjoy that stretch. Nice job. Bring it back center. We're going to fold the body at the hips. And you can just let those hands dangle. You can rest the forearms on the mat. You can place them on the block. But I want the emphasis on driving your hips up to the ceiling, allowing the back of those thighs to really lengthen. And then begin to try to release through the spine. If you feel any tension trying to hold your body up, soften, use that exhale to relax those muscles and just let your body dangle out of the hips, all the way through the spine, through the head, softening the neck. Beautiful job. Go ahead and bend those knees. We're going to gently, slowly bring this over onto the mat on your belly. All right, come on down onto your stomach. And what I want you to do is we're going to take your hands underneath your hips and just hold your hands together. Feels a little uncomfortable at first. All right, I want you to press your head forward a little bit. Let your chin rest on the mat. And then what we're going to do is extend one leg out, squeeze your bum, and draw that leg upward. So you're really just pressing the foot up and away from the body. Squeeze and hold. Make sure you're still breathing. And then lower that leg. Let it tap to the floor, and then we'll take it right back up. And release it down. Let's take it to the other leg. So you're squeezing your bum, extending that foot up and away from the body. Chin is on the floor. And really sit down, tap the mat, and bring it right back up. Really sit down, and we'll bring those hands out from underneath you. Now let's separate your feet so that your legs are at the corners of your mat. I want you to bring your elbows up in line with the shoulders. Forearms are resting on the mat. And we're going to lift the chest up off the floor. From here, if you feel comfortable, begin to release the weight of the arms into the floor and just lifting them up off the floor here. It can just be an inch or so. If that feels good, lift them higher. Be mindful that you're keeping your head and neck in line with your spine, so we're not looking forward like this. We're still staring at the mat. Now I want you to squeeze your backside, press your legs and hips into the floor, and begin to lift the chest up a little higher. See if you can draw the elbows up a little bit more and engage the shoulder blades. We're going to start to lower the chest down, and as we do this, we'll reach those arms overhead beside your ears. Let's return it back up. Elbows going out, chest coming up. And release it back down, arms overhead. One more time. Lift the chest, squeezing your bum, lifting those elbows up and back. And let's lower those arms to the mat. Begin to bring it up. And we're going to bring it into tabletop here. Tuck the head and hips under, round the spine upward. Nice job. From here, let's flip it over onto your back side. All right, go ahead and pull your thighs. Take the elbows out wide. Start to sit back in those hips, leaning away from the thighs. And then let's draw those legs up. Now you're lightly touching underneath these legs here. If you feel good there, extend those palms up and out. Keeping the spine long, engaging your core, breathing through it. Take a few more breaths here. Getting into this position isn't always the hardest. It's breathing through while you hold it. That's where your strength comes in. Keep breathing, keep your posture, keep your form. And And let's place those hands back under your thighs, lower your legs down, and roll yourself down, keeping the feet on the floor and the knees bent. You've got the palms down beside your hips. I want you to tuck your pelvis under, pressing through just the heels. Begin to feel the spine, the vertebrae lifting one at a time off the mat. And you find the highest point you can comfortably go to. And then you're going to hold that there while you breathe. Now, if you get all the way up to the top and you feel good, work the shoulders underneath you. Interlace the hands, extend the arms, and press the hips higher. Go ahead and soften up through those arms. Release the hands. Place the palms back beside your hips. And then slowly we're going to round the back down, one vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees into your chest. Take a couple of slow breaths here, and on your exhale, let your body just kind of soften and relax any areas that you feel tension holding. Specifically making a notice of anything in your shoulders, anything in your neck, perhaps the space between your eyebrows. And oftentimes we even carry tension in our jaw, so soften and relax your jaw. We're going to release those legs down and then just place those feet about hip-width apart towards the edges of your mat. Let your toes turn inward towards each other, and then we're just going to let those knees fall in and rest against each other. You can place your hands either by the hips with the palms up. Soften and relax down through the shoulders, relax your arms. And focusing on a nice deep inhale through your nose, letting your abdominal area rise with the chest. And exhaling out slowly. Nice job. Go ahead and walk those feet back into each other. Extend those legs out. And I want you to bring your arms up by your ears. We're going to take a big deep breath in, lengthen the body in both directions, stretching out through the legs and toes and out overhead through those arms. Big breath in. And exhale, release it. One more time, big breath in. Exhale and release. Bring those hands back down, roll to your side, and come up nice and easy. You guys, you did such a good job. You have worked really hard. You are very focused and intentional. You are more flexible than you were when you started. You are stronger than you started. I hope that you really enjoyed using your breath with your mind and body. Go drink some water and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a blessed day, friends.
Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed today's workout. Help me out by hitting that subscribe button and giving me a thumbs up. More workouts are coming your way.